let's talk game picks. We've got a lot of teams on bye. 6 teams on bye this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And if you are this fantasy Armageddon, it is Buymageddon, folks, because if you got Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon as your running backs like I do, have fun this weekend because you ain't got either of them. They're both off this weekend. Brutal. Thursday night football, we've got an NFC North matchup. Green Bay Packers going to Detroit to take on the Lions. The line is Detroit minus 3.5 points. These two teams did play earlier on in the season in Green Bay. Lions won by 10, 24-14. Didn't Malik Willis have to come in that game? Or am I mistaken? No, Jordan Love played that full game. 273 and a pick. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they punched him the whole game.
It was a pick 6 before half.
Yeah.
I think. And then,
Kirby Joseph, pick 6 before half, yeah. Yep. Tough game to pick here, but, man, 3.5 points. You guys know I love that hook. I love that 3.5-point hook. Green Bay is playing very good football right now, coming off of, 3 straight wins since they last played the Lions in their last loss. I am going to roll with the Packers on the road here as the road dog. I love, like I said, 3.5 hook. I love them to lose by 3 points if they're going to lose this game. Detroit, a little suspect last week against the Bears. Packers play more of Chicago's style of football than the teams Detroit blows out does. Detroit is not blowing them out this game. It's going to be close. I'm going with Green Bay. Colin.
This is a tough one to choose because I really love both of these teams, and it might be the best game of the weekend of the week, and it's on Thursday. So shout out for finally figuring that out. Amazon for Thursday nights, giving us a good one this week. Give me the Lions at home with the 3.5, laying the 3.5. It's a tough number because once again a field goal loses it. But I like Detroit more as that first half team. Hopefully they can carry it over into the second half. And talking about that matchup weeks ago, obviously different Packers team then to now, but Detroit wins by 10 on the road in Lambeau, and they're not supposed to be a team that can win outside. Well, Addison's got leftover video going in the background over there. I didn't even hear what it said. But give me Detroit at home here. The number's not too wild.
Okay, I like it. Addison.
No, they're not. You are struggling right now. Fumble.
Yeah, so sorry.
Absolutely sorry about that. So sorry.
A little trigger warning.
Yeah, my bad.
Headphone alert.
I like this. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm on Green Bay here plus the 3.5. It's because Detroit's defense and their defensive line is just getting ripped apart by injuries right now. And I think Green Bay is going to take advantage and pound the rock with Josh Jacobs, try to control time of possession. Like you said, Nate, earlier, the Green Bay Packers didn't have the best week against the run, or with the run against the Dolphins, but I think they're going to bounce back a little bit against Detroit strictly because of health. And give me the team plus 3.5 in a game that I think is going to be close. So I'll take the Packers and the points.
Love that hook. Big fan of that hook. Another game where we will have that hook. AFC South matchup. Jaguars at Titans. Line is Titans minus 3.5. Man. I'm taking the Titans minus 3.5 here. I don't know why I went first again, but I did. I'm going to take the Titans minus 3.5 here strictly because there's a very limited chance that Trevor Lawrence sees the field.
Oh, he's not.
I'd be stunned if they trot him out there. Although they had him riding off in the golf cart instead of protecting his neck in any way. I mean, remember last time when he was hurt, he had to walk all the way to the clubhouse. Yeah. Like, they had to walk. It's like, wow. Protect the man, please. Titans minus 3.5. I was big on the Titans last week to cover against the Commanders, and they got absolutely shit pumped. Will Levis looked like Will Levis. Although 2 touchdowns, I'll take that. They just couldn't move the ball, man, and Washington just blitzkrieged the hell out of them, up 28-0 in no time. But divisional matchup here, I do like the Titans to cover 3.5 at home, just as a better team and a team that has their quarterback, and maybe their quarterback for the future they might be thinking too. So give me the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans here as well, and it's just because I think the Jags used all their fire last week trying to get that W for Trevor Lawrence. Emotions were running high, and that means they're going to come crashing down. Tennessee, it was ugly, but things just didn't go your way early. A couple fumbles on some kickoffs. That's absolutely unacceptable. Give me the Titans, though, to bounce back, minus 3.5 against the Jags, where just season's over for them already. Yeah. It's been for a while. They just wish it was. In reality, it's getting there, Jags fans. The next season's coming. Give me the Titans on minus 3.5.
Season's coming. I love it. Colin.
I do like the fight we saw out of Mac Jones and those feisty Jags in the second half last week, costing me the cover in my pick and giving Bobby the weekend picks. But Also, shout out on the opposite side, Nick Westbrook and Keeney. Shout out Indiana legend.
Yeah, Indiana legend.
At the point of his touchdown catch this past week, I think I heard he had 17 catches on the season and 8 of them were for touchdowns.
That's crazy.
So he is just capitalizing on his opportunities. Obviously, I think Tennessee, although getting shit pumped as we've talked about, a couple costly turnovers after you give up a score and you turn it over immediately to put your defense in a rough spot. Terrible week all around. You just chalk it up to just getting pumped.
I mean, their first 2 drives both ended in fumbles, didn't they? If not their first 2, it was 2 of their first 3 ended in fumbles. On a kickoff, so punt. Oh, okay, sorry. Punt, fumble, fumble.
Yeah.
And both on first play, like third play of the drive, fumble, and then kickoff, fumble. It's like, okay, we lost.
I mean, it's 21-0. They're getting the message. Are you sure your skill gap?
Would you like to continue?
Yeah. They're getting the message, but give me Tennessee here. They're just in a bounce back spot at home. 3.5 scares me, but so be it.
Same. And we'll say, like you said, Mac Jones, string cheese, looked pretty decent.
Looked okay.
200-something yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He looked better than Trevor Lawrence did, but that's because the defense was not prepped for Mac Jones' offense. They were prepped for Trevor Lawrence's offense. And Trevor Lawrence is a lot more athletic. Trevor Lawrence is a lot more athletic, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His athleticism cost him.
It did. True. Very true. Mac Jones more of the pocket passer. All right, next up, we've got an NFC East matchup. New York Jets traveling to Miami to take on your Miami Dolphins. Colin, I'm swinging it to you first. The line is Miami minus 6.5 points.
Well, these teams are in total polar opposite directions. Miami's trending up. The Jets are trending down. 6.5 in a division game normally is kind of on fringe too many. But you factor in Rodgers' House of Horrors going to Florida. He just never plays good in Florida for whatever reason. And then just talking about the Jets they just can't get out of their own way.
They can't.
I mean, was it 21-0 on Sunday?
21-7.
21-7, and all
Rodgers'
of a sudden,
first loss in his career at home when he was up by 14 points. First loss in his career.
And they get a kickoff return touchdown, but they did have a costly kickoff fumble. But just 2 teams just going in opposite directions. Miami coming home from Green Bay, loving that warm weather. So give me them by a ton.
Okay. Addison, swinging it over to you.
Well, you know me.
It's your Jets, brother.
I love the JTS Jets.
I don't know why.
And Aaron Rodgers, man, he looked pretty good throwing that slug. Oh, wait a minute. He overthrows him right up. Pick 6, absolutely terrible from Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins here minus 6.5, and I'll say this. Dolphins have treated me well when I've picked them this season. So give me Miami minus 6.5. Jets just suck. Last week, they should have won. The game was in their hands, and Rodgers gave it away real quick. Seattle should not be in first solely. Let's just say that, NFC West fans. You're lucky that the Jets absolutely imploded. I mean, they do it often, though. 3-9, you got DJ Reed or whatever talking about officiating on Twitter, on X. And it's like, geez, man, you suck. It's like, you guys just suck, and you're bitching about officiating on Twitter. That's where we're at for the Jets. So give me the...
their jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, their DBs are taught to hold.
Yeah.
And now they're getting caught holding. You're like, what?
So give me Miami minus 6.5 and a bounce back. You said it, getting home, nice weather, offense will just come to life again and to another great week. I mean, offense was there last week passing. Just took a while to show up.
Yeah, it just took too long, right? Can't go down 14-0 against Green Bay in 15-degree weather and snow.
Down 14-0 to the Jets.
No, because their offense is very bad. Their offense is bad. Obviously, I'm taking the Jets here plus the 6.5 points, and the 1-5 Jets on the road. They're 1-5 on the road. Absolutely terrible on the road. 6.5 points, just a little too many. I like Dolphins to win the game. Probably not cover the 6.5 here, and obviously I'm hedging myself here, right? Because I think the Jets are absolutely dog shit, and I'm glad that they're imploding. Like we all knew that they would. I think Rodgers is gone. I don't know what the future for them looks like. It's dark, Jets fans. It is dark.
2-4 at home, by the way.
They're 2-4 at home. Oh my God, that's so bad. That's so bad. Yeah, they're just a broken team. They don't have any fight left in them. I don't think. You don't see it. No. You don't see any fight. So you like Miami to win this game, but give me the Jets to cover the points. Why not? Because I'm jinxing myself. Next up, Atlanta at Minnesota. Line's Minnesota minus 4.5. Addison, I want to start with you on this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is Kirk O'Chain's revenge game. They tell him they want to draft a rookie quarterback, and he says, "Hey, I'm out of here." And then he goes and signs him out. And wouldn't it be something for him to suck during the first half and get benched in Minnesota for a rookie quarterback? And Michael Penix, I'm going to take Atlanta here plus the 4.5, and it's not because I have confidence in Atlanta. It's because Minnesota's going to have this game close, one way or the other. I mean, they keep every game close, and even if they should win by more. Darnold's played decent enough, but Aaron Jones in the running game, they got the weapons. They're there, but Atlanta's got the weapons as well offensively. Are they going to show up? We'll see. Is Kirk Cousins going to throw 3 picks? What's he doing throwing that ball in the end zone like that? 4 picks, yeah. What's he doing throwing the ball in the end zone like that? A little loft ball to 3 defenders, one guy in the middle of it on your team. I mean,
It's down there somewhere.
seriously, it's like, man, we're that point. But give me Atlanta plus the 4.5. I just think Minnesota can't win games big anymore. They've sort of stopped dominating. They're just doing just enough to get out of there. So 4.5 is going to cover.
Okay. Oh man, I can't. I bit on the Falcons at least 2, probably the last 3 weeks. Right, I had them against the Saints. I had them against the Broncos to cover. I had them against the Chargers to cover at home. I was like, oh, they're due. I can't keep taking them.
This is when they're really due.
Yeah, now they're really due. I mean it. We mean it this time.
Change your mind.
No. Said change your mind. Give me Minnesota, man. I do like the Kirk Cousins revenge game kind of narrative here, but I like Minnesota at home just to cover the 4.5 points, even though they don't do it very often. I mean, their last time they covered this one was several weeks ago against the Titans by 10. But then before that, they beat the Colts by 8, Jags by 5. I don't know. Falcons are just trending the wrong direction come playoff time. This is not the time to fall apart, and they've lost 3 straight games. Yeah. They've got to figure it out. They've got some cupcakes coming up. They've got Raiders and Giants their next 2 games, and they finish with the Panthers. So you like them to get to 9 wins. Will that win the division? I don't know, but I think that they lose this week, and Minnesota covers. Colin.
Yeah, interesting spot. Atlanta getting pumped in Denver before the bye week and then coming out and throwing up a 4-pick game by Kirk Cousins after the bye week is not a great look for anybody involved. Now, with Atlanta, I am going to take them in this game with the 4.5 points. Bijan Robinson, huge week, and then they just kind of went away from it. And it's like if a guy is feasting and clearly the pass game is giving the ball to the other team, why are we not just – it was a one-score game throughout. It's not like you're down a tremendous amount and you have to throw the ball. It's just they decided to keep Bijan involved. I like them to do that. Minnesota, we talked about it. They've been winning, but it's been close the last few games. So let me take Atlanta to cover the 4.5.
Yeah, Young Hoku missing that kick was big too. Obviously, he missed what? Did he miss just one? Yeah, just one at the beginning of the game. It was a short kick if I remember correctly. Yeah, 35-yard field goal, no good, wide right. That's crazy. You can't miss that.
That's longer than a PAT.
Yeah,
or is it?
I think it's
33, right?
I think it's 33. Yeah, so it's 2 yards longer. I mean, you got to hit that, man. He's got to figure that out. Next up, we've got Saints traveling to the Giants. Man, the Giants are in complete free fall here. Just an absolute disaster of an organization currently. I'm not even going to take any time. I'm taking New Orleans on the road by 4.5 points. And maybe that comes back to bite me. I don't know. Saints have played inspired football recently. I mean, they were in it against the Rams for most of that game. They're not out of it even in the division, even though they're, 4-8? Like, they're not by any means some good team, but they're not out of it. They're only 2 games back in their own division. And the Giants don't want to win anymore. The Giants are trying really hard to make sure that they get their quarterback of choice in the draft. Give me the Saints. Colin.
Gonna be real short and sweet. Giants are 0-6 at home this season. Ew. That's enough for me to hear. The Saints have enough. They're not as inept as the Giants are. They are a better football team, better weapons. Papa John's. Give me the Saints minus the 4.
Okay. Addison.
I don't know, man. The Saints losing Taysom Hill, I feel like he's a big loss for that offense.
That actually is.
It's a huge loss. I mean, he's RB2 / RB1. I mean, he tore his ACL, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, seriously,
That's devastating.
Yeah, I know, really bad. But the Giants really suck, and you guys aren't wrong. They're trying to get that quarterback in the future, but do the players actually give a shit about that? No. Does Drew Lock give a shit about that? I'm taking Horace Cagg. And give me those G-Men plus the 4.5 at home. Give me a win here for the G-Men just to screw the draft pick a little bit, and then screw the future because that would make me grin.
That would make perfect
sense. Screw the G-Men. Screw the G-Men.
Giants to finally suck, own a suck in a year where the quarterback class is just not very great looking. Yeah, not very good looking. Yeah, maybe. And do you have to hire his dad too? Maybe. Which would be maybe okay. Who knows? It would be. Next up, biggest spread of the week. Carolina Panthers at Philadelphia Eagles. The line is Eagles minus 12.5 points. Man, you know what? I'll say something. I might have been a little early calling Bryce Young a complete bust. He's not been terrible. They have lost, their last 2 games, but they won the 2 before that. They played the Chiefs tight. They played the Bucks tight. Took the Bucks to should have beat the Bucks. If Chuba Hubbard doesn't fumble that ball in OT, they win the game. You're telling me Adam Thielen in his 24th season in the NFL makes that one-handed snag where he cradles the baby. And then Chuba Hubbard's like, nah, we don't want to win this game. What are we doing? And just tosses the ball aside. That is crazy to me. Oh, God dang, that's so many points. Colin, I'm coming to you first. I'm afraid. I want you to pick first.
Proud to be on the train of benching Bryce Young too early was not a good idea.
Maybe it was a bad idea.
Maybe it's not
Same
a bad
with Anthony
idea.
Richardson. Maybe giving these guys a week or two to sit and think about it. Maybe it works.
But I'm glad they didn't fully give up on him because we've seen a lot of good things the last couple of weeks against potential playoff contender. Definitely the Chiefs a playoff contender, but the Bucks TBD.
Bucks tied for division.
Philly though, just right now they seem like a juggernaut. They seem like a team that Bryce Young isn't going to be able to push around, and then Carolina's defense is not going to be able to stop the other side. 12.5 is so many points.
So many points. That's a tough one.
That's a really big spread.
That's a really big
Give me Philly at home.
hard.
Don't love it because they're going to be up 24-6.
And then coast.
And then they're going to give up a late touchdown to
24-13. And that's game.
Yep.
Yeah.
24-13.
I totally see that happening too. But then, I mean, you look at their recent kind of games. Against the Cowboys, they didn't stop. They won 34-6. Bengals 37-17. Commanders, they won by 8. Rams, they beat by 17 points. It's in Philly also, which I love. Is it a letdown spot after you beat the Ravens? I don't know. Are you looking ahead to the Steelers next week? Huge game next week in Philly.
Big game next week.
Steelers at Philly is going to be an awesome football game. Man, I feel like I'd be a fool to take minus 12.5. But the way Philly looks, man, it seems like they're going to – I'm worried – fuck it. Give me Carolina.
No.
I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking the Panthers to 12.5 because of exactly what Colin said. That backdoor cover, baby. It's going to be 21-0.
It's the holiday season. Meemaw's leaving it open.
We got to get that breeze through the house because it's hot because you got family over. Meanwhile, leaving the back door open. I think Addison was going to want to be alone.
Man, I was trying to be so low on the Carolina Panthers. Now they have to reconsider. It's just a lot of points, but, I mean, Carolina's defensive line, Derek Brown's hurt? Yeah, he's been hurt. And who's stopping Saquon? Don't know.
Nobody.
I just don't know. But Bryce Young, man, got to give him his flowers because he's looked great. Made some really good throws off platform throws, tight windows. Led the game-winning drive that they ended up choking a little bit, but could have been a game-winning drive. Touchdown with 30 seconds left. Very impressive from the Carolina Panthers.
I'm changing my pick. I'm going with Philly. Screw it. I'm going with Philly because of the rushing defense. Saquon Barkley's going to crush them.
Yeah, I know. It's
They
bad.
gave up 240 yards on the ground to Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah, I know. Bucky
Yeah.
Irving went crazy.
Yeah, 152 yards and 25 carries. And then 76 for Rashad White on 11 carries.
Yeah.
You think Philly's not going to look at that and be like, maybe we don't just throw the ball and we run it? Yeah,
Bet Will
Philly-
Shipley to
Philly-
score a touchdown.
Will Shipley.
No, seriously, if he's RB2,
Eh?
why not? Look at both.
So I'm on Philly with Colin.
I don't know. Then you got to fight with Jalen Hurts and Barkley. True. Unless it's like late.
Lately, up 30.
He does like to let the young guys eat.
Ah, damn it, man. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Philly. Screw it.
Oh, okay.
Minus 12.5, big spread. You know, screw it. I'm saying Philly. I'm saying Philly.
Okay.
Minus 12.5. I think
Tough.
Saquon's going to
A lot
dominate.
of confidence in that.
Saquon's going to dominate. I like that. Carolina, they're feisty. Bryce Young.
feisty.
Bryce Young.
This might be the least decisive pick we've all made in a long time. I mean, we have all flip-flopped multiple times just talking about it. Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
Carolina outright.
Carolina to win the game. Next up, we've got an AFC North matchup. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. The line is Pittsburgh minus 6.5. And not to talk about Pittsburgh all the time. Man, Pittsburgh looked damn good offensively this past week. Joe Burrow is still playing at an MVP level, so he's going to score points. But damn, shout out Russell Wilson and that offense for cooking in Cincinnati, where the Bengals are 1-5 at home, by the way, in there on the season. That is awful. Pittsburgh at home, we got the entire Jameis Winston experience on Monday Night Football, man. Broke the Browns' record for most passing yards in a game. Threw for damn near 500 yards. But if you count his pick 6 yards, over 600 yards on the game. That's crazy, over 600 passing
And he had
yards.
those as touchdowns as well.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns. Or no, 6 touchdowns. I mean, what a game. Jerry Jeudy, 9 catches for 235 and a touchdown. Single-handedly cost me a week in fantasy. It's a dick move. I'm going to take Pittsburgh here. The Broncos' defense is not as good as Pittsburgh's defense, and Steelers' offense is better than the Broncos' offense. So by the transitive property, I'm going to go with the Steelers minus 6.5, even though they lost earlier in a snow game. Addison.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll talk about the weather a little bit. This Sunday, it's going to be 40, a little cloudy, 33% chance of rain.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a beautiful day for Pittsburgh people. Yeah, I know, the Gremlins. But give me Pittsburgh Steelers here in a Gremlin win. They're going to dominate. Minus 6.5. It's not going to be snowing. It's not going to be a funky game. Steelers just going to show up, dominate the offensive explosion last week, continue it. TJ Watt's going to outperform Myles Garrett because he was yapping all that shit. Give me Pittsburgh minus 6.5. Simple as that. Cleveland, they tried their best and they still
took their best shot.
They couldn't. Yeah.
They're 1-5 on the road. Pittsburgh's 4-1 at home. Another stat for you, Colin.
I weirdly think, and this might be just completely a hot take, but I think Pittsburgh and Denver are very, very similar as teams.
They are pretty
like,
similar.
Like if you showed me like their offenses and defenses next to each other, I'd be like just statistically throughout the season, I'd be like, oh, okay, they have a great front seven, and the back four is kind of questionable.
Yep.
And then their offense, they're not asking too much out of their quarterback with somewhat of a complementary run game with one option out wide.
yeah. You're not wrong.
And that is very similar as teams in Cleveland. Now, do they make the same mistakes in Pittsburgh as they did in Denver? Probably, because Jameis, he likes to get his, but he likes to give it up as well. A couple teams that played, 2 weeks ago in Cleveland on a Thursday night.
Yeah, Snow Bowl.
And such a close time frame between that game and this frame, I'm always going to lean on the coaching, and so I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home. 6.5 normally kind of a lot for an AFC North matchup, but I like Tomlin. I like the way the Steelers' offense, especially, but their defense is still right there as well, is rolling right now. So give me them at home.
Okay. I like that. So all three of us there on Pittsburgh. Back-to-back games where we take the Pennsylvania team, all three of us. So interesting. They're both going to lose outright. Next, America wins. Next up, Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks, who are they in the driver's seat for the division? They might be. They got Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. Feels pretty decent. Feels like you might be in the driver's seat for that division. We'll see. The line is Tampa Bay -7. Addison, I'm going to lead off with you.
I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -7. Bucky Irving in that rushing attack with Rashad White as the 1-2 punch is absolutely nasty. And yes, Bucky Irving is the one in that scenario. Mike Evans is going to get the yards needed for 1,000. It's still about 100 yards a game. Guess what? He's going to get it. Give me Tampa Bay -7. Las Vegas just completely giving it up. It's ugly. Aiden O'Connell's probably starting this game as well, and that's just gross to think about. So give me Tampa Bay on route to making the playoffs -7. They cover this one pretty easily. Get up big, stay up big. Simple as that.
You're not taking Mommy Milkers? I'm stunned right now. I thought he played decent against the Chiefs.
He did.
I thought he played okay. He had 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a damn good game.
Jacoby Murs.
True. The problem is that their leading rusher was Sincere McCormick, who
Yeah, I know.
definitely had him as a leading
He was actually
rusher.
rushing pretty hard in that game. I
Yeah.
thought he was running the football pretty well.
That's fair. I think a difference maker in this football game is Brock Bowers, as he will be in every game for his NFL career because he is unbelievable. I was. I'll be honest. Quick side note: I was flaming Sawyer earlier for our trade in our dynasty league, like our keeper league, when I gave him Bowers, but I got Nico Collins and someone else, and I was like, "Oh, that's such a good trade because Nico Collins is amazing." That might be an L trade.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers might be the number 1 tight end going forward.
He is.
He should be the number 1 tight end going forward.
I mean, he might be a top 5 weapon in all of football.
He might be. I mean, he's insane. He could arguably win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
If it's not only quarterbacks, he has the best case outside of the quarterbacks. I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders and Mommy Milkers to get it done on the road. They're not going to win this game. But because I think they also, another team, needs to figure out quarterback situation. Players don't care about that, but also their stars are hurt. Max Crosby, is he going to give a full core effort against the Bucs? Yes, he will because he's Max Crosby. But will everyone else? Probably not. So I like them to keep this game close, but lose. They're not going to win this game. Give me the Vegas Raiders in the John Gruden Bowl to cover the 7 points.
The John Gruden Bowl, and just looking at these two team names, like this had to be like an all-time matchup back in the day. The Raiders against the Bucs.
Raiders and the Bucs. I mean,
come on.
Early Super Bowl 2003.
Oh no, I just mean like medieval days.
Oh
like,
yeah,
going at it.
Raiders versus the Bucs. Absolutely.
That's a mad naval battle right there.
Yes, it is.
Assuming the Raiders are on the water and not on land, but who knows? Give me Tampa at home here. You talked about it. Brock Bowers, can Tampa stop him? It's interesting to see if they're going to put like Winfield with like old ass Levante or how they're going to try to match up there. And then on the other side, can Vegas' run defense stop that dual head back or Mike Evans out wide because he is going to get those yards, as you said, Addison. So give me Tampa at home. Love Baker Mayfield. I'll say it every week.
Maybe the Raiders just play the Chiefs close, and I'm a sucker. That's probably what it is. Let's call it what it is.
That was their last loss before Josh Allen a couple weeks ago. The Chiefs was AOC at home.
On Christmas last year, yeah.
Complete a pass after the first quarter.
True. That is a crazy stat.
That is gross.
But then you look at the Raiders against competent offenses this year.
Yeah.
At least last set, like Steelers 32 points scored, Rams only 20, Chiefs 27, Bengals 41, Dolphins 34, Broncos 29.
Oh, the Bucs are putting up 30.
Bucks are putting up 30. Can the Raiders score 23?
Evans is scoring, Kate Allen is scoring, Baker's
I might-
for 300.
I might parlay all
This
that
is
together.
that Titans-Washington game from last week.
Just it's over in the first quarter. 21-0 after the first
Maybe
quarter.
10 minutes left in the second.
And then you hope the Raiders back to recover. It's the Christmas season. All right, moving on into the 3 o'clock slate. We've got a battle for first place in the NFC West. Winner of this game is in first place, definitively. Seattle, well, maybe. I don't know, because Seattle has the head-to-head currently, but then it would be split, so then it comes down to tiebreakers. Either way, if Seattle wins this one, they've got a firm hold on first place in that division. Arizona needs this one. Seattle at Arizona. Line, Arizona minus 2.5 points. I've been disappointed in Arizona recently, man. They just find ways to lose games. Like, they just, after they found a way to beat the Dolphins, they have just found ways to lose every week pretty much since. They were riding high, and then they lost to Seattle in a game where they only scored 6 points. Yeah, they beat the Jets. Congratulations. They beat the Bears, who were in free fall mode. But then they lose by 10 to Seattle, and they lose to the Vikings in a game they should have won. They should have beaten the Vikings last week, and they fall apart. Man. I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking the road team. I'm taking Seattle to cover 2.5 points. Arizona just loses close games. They do. They just lose close games, and I'm going to go with Seattle. Addison.
Well, I said it last week. What's going to happen to make the NFC West absolutely crazy? Well, that's an Arizona win this week. So give me Arizona minus the 2.5 because that division is going to come down to Week 18. And if Seattle wins this one, like you said, Nate, they got a really strong hold on it. I will say it pains me because I could easily see Seattle winning this game outright, let alone covering. But I'm taking Arizona minus the 2.5 to bounce back offensively, try to control the time of possession with the ground game and James Conner, Kyler Murray using his legs a little bit more. Want to see Marvin Harrison more involved like he was last week, but give me the Cardinals minus 2.5.
Colin. One of us is going to have a good week.
I'm hoping I join that one.
We are
because
opposites on a lot of games.
Oh,
no.
I am also going to take Arizona here in this spot. What gets me with Arizona is their defense the past few weeks. I know they ended up giving up 23 against Minnesota, but for the majority of that game, they were really holding all those weapons for Minnesota in check, and then really the fourth quarter, they just piled on to end up winning the game. But you look at the last several home games, 15 given up defensively to the Chargers, 9 to the Bears, 6 to the Jets. The Cardinals have been a good defense overall the last several weeks, especially when they're at home. And sometime that Geno Smith pumpkin's got to show its rear, that ugly face. So give me that pumpkin Geno Smith this week, and give me the Arizona Cardinals to bounce back.
Like, the Seahawks should have lost last week. It's a good team. They lose.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, the Jets just folded. I mean, they were up big, and they just folded. Seahawks won 3 straight.
This week. This is bad.
A lot of favorites,
This
I
is
know.
bad.
Well, all the home teams are favorited except for literally 2 games.
And it's,
Yeah,
0-6 at home Giants.
exactly.
And the Rams-
You're right. I have outright written over there. That's on me. Yeah, and Monday night too. Okay. All right. Next up, Bills at Rams. Line is Bills minus 4.5. I've been really hammering the road teams this week, and that's not changing here. It's Bills minus 4.5. Moving along, Colin.
Well, you're keeping your trend of the road teams. I'm keeping my trend of the favorites. Give
Okay.
me those Buffalo Bills. They're playing outstanding football, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. This Rams defense has been good up front, so let's see what Josh Allen can do through the air to really kind of take advantage of that. But give me the Bills on the road. They're rolling.
Well, Nate's on the Bills. You know what that means. I'm also on the Bills this game, minus 4.5. Colin, you said it. Bills are rolling. Rams defense is playing a little bit better recently, but I just don't think they're going to be able to slow down Buffalo's attack. Mari Cooper, big game. Khalil Shakur, big game. Because if they can slow down the run, Josh Allen will sling the rock.
Yeah, he will. 100%. Last one, Chicago, San Francisco. In San Francisco, line is 49ers minus 3.5. Colin, we'll start with you on this one. What are your thoughts here?
This game scares me a lot because
Easiest game of the week.
easiest game of the
Easiest
week.
Yeah, you just gave it a week.
Easiest
Oh,
game.
I'm not even thinking. It's the
Yeah.
new coach bump.
Come on, man.
But 3.5 though are the Niners this pissed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was 5.5
Yes.
before CMC got hurt.
Yeah.
With CMC and Mason healthy, the spread before the game when the Niners play the Bills, it was 5.5 Niners.
Oh.
Now it's now 3.5.
3.5 for the Bears. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
You're going to feel silly when the Bears win outright and you're like, new coach bump. I'm like, yep, told you.
Yeah, Bears
You're
are
right,
good.
and Jalen Johnson can clamp whatever shadow of Debo Samuel's left, whatever is left of
Yeah,
him.
actually, he probably can't.
He can't.
Uh,
Yeah, he's not fast.
If you're
And then
fast.
can the Bears just double team Kittle and just take away their whole offense?
Good linebacker.
They took Kittle out of the offense themselves last week.
Shit, give me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel really dumb. I think.
Oh, Colin, you're being a sucker. A total sucker with the hook, too. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm scared.
Come on, do it. Easiest game of the week to pick.
Easiest game of the week. Give me the Niners.
Oh,
Minus
my
the 3.5.
gosh. They never learn, folks. They never, ever learn. I try so hard to
I
teach
said
them.
the whole way here I was taking it too. I was taking the Bears the whole way here.
3.5 points. Bears don't get blown out in games. They typically, unless they're playing the Patriots, apparently. They keep games close, like against the Lions. They lost by 3 to the Lions in Detroit. San Francisco coming off of an absolute ass-kicking where they lost Christian McCaffrey probably for the season. And Jordan Mason, welcome to IR as well. They are beat up. They are hurting. This is just a Niners team where it's like, you guys, we just don't have the juice this year. Sometimes you just don't have the juice. They don't have the juice. And the Bears are getting the new coach bump. Bears outright. Money line. Bears.
Isaac Garendo, 100 yards.
Yeah, Garendo 100 yards might be a tug, but I'd be more worried if this was CMC, Mason, and Garendo, all three, because then the Bears would have no chance to cover. But the backfield being as hurt as it is, and Brock Purdy sucking as of late,
Yeah.
I'm on the Bears plus the 3.5, especially with the new coach bump. I am going to be betting them outright. I'm going to be pained when they lose, but I'm still taking them outright this week because it's a new coach bump and it's the Bears. I believe in the Bears. They haven't quit somehow, and this definitely re-energized the team with the firing. Thomas Brown mentality's all changed. It's beat 'em up, go at 'em mentality. I like it. So give me the Bears plus the 3.5. Free.
Yeah. Last 6 games for the 49ers, they've only scored more than 20 twice. Against the Bucks, they scored 23, and against Cowboys, they scored 30. But otherwise, they lost to the Seahawks, only scoring 17. Lost to the Packers, 38-10. Lost to the Bills, 35-10. I mean, they are just getting wrecked in games right now. Just getting wrecked. And the new coach bump at Chicago, Colin. You want to switch? Are you sure?
I'm sure. Do you think there's a world that San Francisco and Shanahan part ways
No.
at the end of the year?
Goes to the Bears.
No way. No way. Not after what he's done. No way.
Okay.
If they do, then they deserve every bit of badness that they're going to go
I don't
into.
think they can, just because they literally just extended him.
Right.
This last
And
offseason.
They've just
extended.
played, like, their last
And
4
like-
years, they've been what? NFC Championship game, Super Bowl, NFC Championship game,
yeah.
Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get rid of him.
Don't get me wrong. The fact that this has started, some Bears fans have been tweeting, we're going to get Shanahan fired for weeks, and there's actually some train now
Is this the
behind
game?
This is the game. He loses to the Bears, and like, we got to fire him. If they fire Shanahan, I would be on board with firing Mike McDaniel to bring in Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah.
30 at least.
Bye-bye McCarthy.
I would say, yeah.
Get Shanahan out.
I can. Andy Reid keeps his job. Mike Tomlin keeps his job, and Dan Campbell keeps his job. I think. Other than those, even then, yeah, LaFleur will keep his job too.
I think Campbell would, just because Shanahan's a choker. I mean, what the fuck has he won?
I say the same thing.
I would happily take the
Yeah,
games though,
true,
and getting there.
But Shanahan's been in that moment like 3
That's
times.
true, that's
True.
Each
Yeah,
time
he has
Campbell's
lost.
choked.
He has
Choked.
more opportunity in over 3. True. However, I mean, you'd be a fool not to
I
want him,
that.
man.
Remember, I want Shanahan as Bears coach.
You're trying to talk
Let
into
us go
existence.
coach. Let us go choke.
Yeah.
Those games, yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather lose in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Rather to love and lose than to
Yeah.
never love at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll go to sleep with my AFC Championship blankie wrapped around me with a smile on my face.
I'll be yakking a lot of shit.
Oh, I'll be talking. Alrighty, Sunday Night Football. Collins, Los Angeles Chargers going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The line is the Chiefs minus 3.5. Both teams really disappointing this past weekend, honestly. The Chargers didn't look like they wanted to beat Atlanta, and the Chiefs really didn't want to beat the Raiders. It took a nice a ref conference to confirm not a false start,
yeah.
illegal formation, which means the fumble counts, even though a ref is running and waving his hands as the play is live. I mean, the Chiefs just keep getting gifted. They continue to get gifted. And they're going to win this game, but not by 3.5 points. They're going to win this game, just not by 3.5 points. Chargers are going to cover. Oh my God, that's 5 straight road teams for me. That is disgusting. Chargers plus 3.5. I love that hook in the close game between two teams that I think, and Vegas apparently thinks, are very close. Very similar teams right now. The way that the Chargers have been playing, the way that Ladd McConkey's been looking, I was high on him. Happy to have gotten him in several leagues. I mean, he had, 117 yards against, man.
Herbert's 147.
Yeah. 30 yards went to other players. Everything else went to Ladd McConkey, which makes sense because he's their only weapon. They just play a brand of football that is physical and tough to stop. And Kansas City's a tough place to play, but I like the Chargers to cover the 3.5 points. Addison.
Yeah, I said earlier this year, Harbaugh's got Mahomes' number even in their first match if he threw a pick. But at the end of the day, Chiefs won the game by 7. I don't know, this one hurts me, man. I love the LA Harbaughs, but I love the Chiefs.
It's tough. It's a tough pick.
I'm going to go...
That's how I feel.
I'm going to take the Chargers plus the 3.5 just because I think it could be a close game, and I do think Chiefs win. And not to go on the tangent about the Chiefs because I always say it, but again, What is so bad? Chiefs were not number 1 seed last year. They lost to the Raiders on a bad game. They lost to Denver on a bad game last year.
Yep.
What is the difference between winning these football games and maybe losing a couple that could have, like maybe 1 or 2 of these, and they've got 9 wins and they're 9-3 instead of 11-1? Are people saying, "Oh, Chiefs are fine, but because they're winning, oh, this is going to happen in the playoffs"? It's like I just don't get that. It's like I get it. They're ugly ass wins. Who gives a shit? It's the Chiefs.
Yep.
But the Chargers are going to cover the 3.5, and I
That's why
do.
we do spreads.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Chiefs money line for sure, but minus 3.5, I don't know.
Plus the 3.5. I just even talking about for the future for
Yeah.
the Chiefs, because just I get the hate train, but man, until
I
they
still pick them to win the Super Bowl.
yeah, until they choke in the playoffs, my ass. Until that black magic doesn't happen in the playoffs, my ass. That's all I gotta
Double
say.
magic.
That's all I gotta say. But Chargers plus the 3.5 in a close game. Harbaugh owns Mahomes.
Yeah. Man, good thing the Chiefs clinched the playoffs spot already, and they won those games because their schedule is
For real. That's
brutal.
tough.
Chargers, Browns, okay, gimme. But then Houston, Pittsburgh, Broncos. I mean, that's tough teams. Those are 3 playoff teams at the end of the year.
2 and 3 stretch here.
Yeah, but they just keep pulling them out. It's like now they're going to use the good plays, as Nick Wright likes to say. I mean, you look at their last 5 games. Beat the Bucs in overtime, beat the Broncos on a block kick, lost to the Bills, beat the Panthers on a last-second field goal, beat the Raiders on a fumble.
Yeah.
They could have lost all 5. Again, it's stupid to say, like, well, what if this happens?
Yeah.
What if they lost all 5 of those games? Like, they didn't, Nate. They won them, except for 2, or one of them. So they didn't, but
I do
3.5
agree
I
with
don't
that.
like.
I do agree with that. I just also hate, like, again, it's one game, so it's different than a series, but it's like, are we really worried the Chiefs aren't dominating regular season?
No.
They have been looking
Long
past
term,
the
no.
regular season since week 1.
Yes.
They've known they're in the playoffs since week 1. Just how it goes when you're that elite. It's shit, but
It's what it is.
we'll see.
Colin, picking this game.
It is what it is with my LA Chargers.
With Colin's
Looking at, I mean, we already talked about it, 117 of Herbert's 147. If Kansas City can seriously just take away Ladd, like who's
No, I don't.
who's beating you through the air? Is it Drops Johnson?
Drops Johnson.
Damn it, man.
Who's beating you out there through the air? I am going to take Kansas City in this spot. I always said 7.5 or higher. I'm taking the other team
Sure.
because the Chiefs don't win by 2 scores. 3.5 doesn't scare me away. I could very easily see them winning by 4. They just score 1 more touchdown to LA's 1 field goal, and that's 4 points right there. So give me the Chiefs at home to continue to win. They can win close. They can cover 4. 3.5.
Okay.
That being said, I'm switching to Kansas City because J.K. Dobbins is on IR.
True.
That's actually
And
a big
the check
reason
goes
why.
back.
Yeah,
Check
give me
goes
Kansas
back.
City minus 3.5.
Alright.
No running back, only one weapon.
I'm staying with
Casey,
Casey.
they're having the best week of anybody.
Yeah, I'm either going like 15 or whatever, 10-3,
So many fans.
or I'm shaking
hoping
ass
this is
on
a-
TikTok.
I'm hoping this is
A week the books lose.
a public week. Yes.
Public week. I'm gonna end up shaking my ass on TikTok. God damn it! All right, Monday Night Football. We've got Cincinnati
Wow.
at Dallas. I'm doing the what?
Wow.
I don't, oh no!
Good at splits and twerk.
I will tear every muscle in my body.
I was stepping at home earlier, by the way. We have this little rug on a hardwood floor.
Uh-huh.
One step on the rug, expanded the legs. I was like,
Oh, no.
oh, I thought I heard something pop.
Oh, I tore it. It's tore.
I was like, that might be the sign of getting old because never before did the groin ever take a blow like that.
And now
And
it's-
that was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's tough.
Sensational burn. I'm like, that hurt. That genuinely hurt.
Oh man. Monday Night Football. We've got Cincinnati going to Dallas. Line is Cincy minus 5.5. Colin, you're last on this one, obviously. The problem with the Bengals this year is they can't stop other offenses. They just get points scored on them. But I don't think Cooper Rush can take advantage of that. That's my question, is can Cooper Rush take advantage of that? And the lack of a running game take advantage of that? I don't. I just don't. I think the Bengals will get their 30-plus that they get every single game. But I just don't know who on the Cowboys is going to take advantage of the Bengals defense. And the Bengals not technically dead yet. So they're fighting. They're dead, but they're fighting. I am going to take the road Bengals to cover 5.5 here and finish with 6 straight road teams. Yikes.
I'm also on the Cincinnati Bengals minus 5.5. The Bengals defense could not stop my last in December. That shit's slow. I saw that and I was like, that's good. But give me Cincinnati Bengals minus 5.5. Dallas, it's been a good couple weeks in a row against division opponents. Those are the only teams that you're required to beat the rest of the way. And you did your job. But guess what? This is not a division opponent. This is an offense that's absolutely explosive. The Bengals give it up. Can the Cowboys really score 35 plus?
That's what it's going to be.
The Bengals are scoring 38. The Bengals are scoring 40. Is Cooper Rush coming out throwing for 300? I doubt it. I doubt it. Is Dowdle going to go crazy? I doubt it. So give me those Bengals minus 5.5. Simple as that. Joe Burrow, I feel bad for you. Right now, best year of your career has been wasted. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, 3,400 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 picks, and they are 4 and 8.
Look at the records of other quarterbacks with those stats. They're all 5 games above 500, and
At
Joe Burrow
least.
has 5 games under.
Yep. Colin.
Joe Burrow, second quarterback in the Super Bowl era to have 3 straight games of 300 plus and 3 passing tuds to be 0-3 in those 3 games. Also, another fun fact: there have been 7 teams in the NFL this season to lose while scoring 30 points, and the Bengals have 4 of those 7 losses when scoring 30 points. So it is not on Joe Burrow or not on that offense. That defense has been pissed. This is actually kind of a history game because the first year we actually did this podcast, we were doing a week in review from the noon cap downstairs in the basement here, and this game was played at 3:00. Cooper Rush at home for Dallas against Joe Burrow for the Bengals.
What?
And the Cowboys won on a walk-off field goal.
Oh, baby.
I say all that to say, give me Cincinnati minus the 5.5 points. Dallas's offense is not competent enough to keep up with the Bengals. They're gonna win 42-22.
Yeah, I can see that.
On a 2-point conversion lead
Okay.
from Dallas.
Yeah, the Bengals have given up 340 points this season in 12 games. Yeah, seriously. They've scored 335, and they've given up 340, which is the most in the AFC, second most in the NFL, only behind Carolina, and a point ahead of Jacksonville and Dallas, who has given up 339.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's where you want to be.
That's right. All right, let's get into...
Jacksonville and Cincinnati and
Yep,
Carolina.
that's where you want to be, baby. Let's get into mortal locks for this week here. We will have our 3, and then we will get Sage's and Bobby's to keep it going. Addison, Sage, Bobby are all tied at 8-5. Colin at 7-6, and I got one, folks. We're 2-11. We're coming. I'm coming. Never losing another one. You guys are gonna all lose out, and I'm still gonna lose. I'm taking the Jets plus 6.5 points. You all know why. Because it's a curse. It's an absolute curse, and I'm going to continue to ride it. It was weird last week because I took both. I messed with it. That was my own mistake. I should have just rode with the Green Bay Packers and whatever. Moving on. Jets plus 6.5.
Do I go Dolphins minus 6.5 to match
Just
it?
to match it?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Instead, I've put my sack on the table with this team before, and I'm doing it again. Give me those Bears plus 3.5 on the road. New coach bump. Lock is my favorite team, so I'll be extra sad when they lose. But give me the Bears plus 3.5. Caleb Williams, Thomas Brown. They're locking in. Simple as that, and they're back.
New coach bump. New coach bump. Colin, lock.
I was this close to taking the Niners as my lock just to be a dick and double down against that new coach bump.
Do it.
You
Still
But
can't.
No, I don't like to do that.
Well, you got to catch him at some point.
Yeah, you need
Your game back in mortal locks.
He'll catch an L.
He'll catch one.
He'll catch an L this week, and I'll still win a different game this week.
Ooh, okay. I love
I'm
it.
kidding. Probably not. I'll probably actually lose this week because
And
I am
possibly
going
win.
to take, for I think the first time this year, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
I like them at home minus the 3.5.
Wow.
I don't think that's enough points. I don't. So give me
Wow.
Kansas City at home against the Chargers.
Baby. Okay. Colin, you hang on to that microphone because next up are the locks of the week. I want to say it's 25 and 14, right? We're what? 13 weeks in.
Yeah, that's
So 39.
Yep.
Yep. 25 and 14 on the year. Very impressive. We got people in national media with worse records touting their worst records. Like, oh, I'm one of the best pickers. It's like, hold on. You check us out. Colin's locks. What do you got for us this week?
We've declined the last few weeks, although coming off a 2-1, so we're back. That 5-point teaser has been crushing us the last
And
few
it's
weeks.
like one leg of it every time.
But I'm going to keep it going. Let's start with a straight bet. I'm going to take that Cleveland-Pittsburgh over 43.5 points.
Love that.
This
Yeah.
Pittsburgh offense has been absolutely rolling the last few weeks, and then you got Jameis on the other side,
I
and they're
love
going to be
that.
throwing it.
It's only 43
And
and a
Pittsburgh's
half.
defense has been giving it up as of late. It's over
Yeah.
like 90 points the last 4 games total.
Yeah.
That defensive line.
Huge game last week, too, against Joe Burrow, so some nice game film there for Cleveland. I mean, they just played him as well a couple weeks ago. Let's get to that 5-point teaser. We're taking Tampa from -7 to -2. I like them to win at home by a field goal or more against those Raiders. We're going to take Pittsburgh, second bet in the lock, so we're really riding that Pittsburgh train from 6.5 down to 1.5. Win by 2 at home against Cleveland. Come on. And then we're going to take Cincinnati from 5.5 to 0.5. I like the Bengals to win on the road in Dallas. Too much offensive firepower on their end. Dallas's offense won't be able to keep up, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's tough.
Moneyline parlay, that's plus 180 for the teaser
God,
there.
such
Minus
odds.
110 for the straight bet with the over-under there in Pittsburgh. And then Moneyline parlay plus 100 this week. We're going with those AFC East teams. We're going to take the Dolphins on the money line at home,
Oh, no.
and we're going to take the Bills on the money line on the road.
Oh, my What is that? Odds.
Plus 100.
Plus 100.
Double your money.
Love that. Love those bets.
So those are the 3 locks. Let's go 3 and out.
Yeah, let's have a 3-0 week. We're due for a 3-0 week here. That would be electric. Addison, what kind of outrageous take you bringing to the table for week 14 of the NFL season?
Well, I got something pretty outrageous for this week, and it is something along the lines of a revenge game for Kirk Cousins and those Atlanta Falcons. Give me Kirk Cousins at the end of the game saying that, "You like that?" For a throwback, that's definitely a clip going viral after they win. But give me Kirk Cousins throwing for 4 bands against his old team in Minnesota. Jake London catches $125 and a tud. Darnell Mooney catches about 70 and a tud. Bijan Robinson scares a tud. And the Atlanta Falcons just blow it up on the Minnesota Vikings. So give me Kirk Cousins' revenge game being very successful. And again, you have a "you like that" going viral at the end of the game.
Oh, I need a "you like that."
Need a "you like that."
Ooh-wee.
Need one of them as well, Kirk. Need one.
Oh my God. Okay, I love that. That'll be fun to watch. I do love the revenge game narrative. Always been a fan of that. That's it, folks. That's all we've got for you guys this week. We will have, obviously, you won't know Bobby and Sage's picks, but we will have them to keep our battle going. It's getting close, and it's
Getting close.
Colin. I mean, first to worst record is
Loser
tight.
has the winner's ass or face tatted on their ass.
Well, you tell me.
Hey, you get a good
Sage is getting Colin's face tattooed on his right ass cheek. That's
I
gonna
don't
be.
know if I want that.
No?
I know Sage doesn't want that.
Sage might want that. I don't know. Sage is weird, weirdo. All right, that's all we've got for you guys this week. We will see you all next week when we recap what happened this weekend. We'll see you in the next one.